Special guest. Great to have Mahershala Ali joining us right now. If you haven't seen Moonlight, go see it.
The 89th Academy Awards and Cinephile will be there. Get all the details at Cinephile, the Adnan Virk movie podcast. Available now on the ESPN app and iTunes.
Today on the podcast, Max Bretos in for Kanell. Got weird, obviously, pop quiz. Also, should Kerr play Westbrook with Durant in the All-Star game? Yes. And why I disagree with Charles Barkley about the NBA not being good because of the Nets and Magic.
This is the Russillo and Kanell podcast.
Bretos is here on a Friday, so that means, some of the segments are going to be really good, and there's also going to be other segments where I'm not quite sure what we're doing. They may not even be good, but they'll be different, so that's kind of, it's a win, I guess.
Yeah, if you say so. I like to do it, and I'll throw, I'm here to entertain, but I'm also here to educate as well. If you want a few takes, we'll get that. But if we go off on a tangent, I'm ready to rock.
All right, perfect. So today, a lot of basketball in front of the NBA All-Star break down in New Orleans. We'll check in with some of the guys. A great piece on the ESPN radio side of things. They produce it every year where they have all these different guys that we hear from. Kevin Durant, we're going to hear from him in a little bit. But I think we need to start with day 2 of the Draymond Green story because you knew once it came out, right? This is Draymond. This is yesterday from the Dre Day podcast, and I'm sure you've heard this by now. We played it yesterday, played it on SportsCenter numerous times. His comments about the Dolan and Oakley incident from last week.
And that's a slave mentality. You're doing it for me, it's all good. But now you're doing it against me, or not necessarily against me, but you're speaking out against my organization. It's not good anymore. That's a slave mentality, slave master mentality. That's ridiculous. It was all fine and dandy when he was laying people out, taking fines.
Out Jordan, right?
Taking fines and all this stuff for your organization. But now all of a sudden when he says something that he feels, it's a problem. I disagree with that. I definitely think, like I said, that that's a slave master mentality.
All right, Max, and you heard that yesterday because, I've already had my swing at it. And,
It's the word slave master mentality obviously prick up the ears like nothing else.
Sure.
And you're initially, I hear that. That's the headline. I heard the headline before, and then I heard the sound a little bit later, and you want to hear in what context. And it just, the words are so strong. When he describes the comparison of James Dolan looking at Charles Oakley, the player, and saying, okay, I like it in this circumstance, but now as he comes in and he doesn't like what I'm doing with my team and he's going to be an irritant, then I'm going to treat him a little differently. I think that is fine, but the slave master mentality, it makes your skin crawl a bit, because it's such a serious accusation. It's such a serious accusation that it has to be accurate. It has to be 100% accurate to ever use that. If you don't, then you really soften it.
Well, his point is that he wasn't saying that he was, and we'll get to that again. Saturday, 5:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio. It's Meet the All-Stars. So Draymond, in one of the lead-up interviews to that, he sat down with a bunch of our guys and clarified the remarks.
I never said James Dolan has a slave master mentality. I said when you look at something and someone has, they're doing something for someone and all of a sudden they can't anymore, that falls under the slave mentality. However, I think a lot of people has kind of given it the racial thing and whether, James Dolan is a racist and this and that and the other. I can't say James Dolan is a racist. I don't know James Dolan. Honestly, if he walked past me right now, I wouldn't know who he is. So for me to say that he's a racist, what I said was I thought it was unfair the way Oakley was treated. I thought some of the things that was said about Charles Oakley from James Dolan, from the New York Knicks Twitter handle, I thought some of the things that was said about Oakley was wrong.
So here's what I think happened here, okay? And I don't love, I'm an opinion guy. I really like the NBA. I'm lucky enough to get asked to go on other shows. What do you think of the analogy? I thought it was a bad analogy yesterday. But I also don't love the role of, hey, this is a racial issue. All right, white guy, racist or not?
Yep.
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
Yes,
good,
it was. Good. No, it wasn't. Hey, Ryan, come on in. Racist or not? Yes. Yes to that one. No to that one.
It's that simple.
2 no's in a row. 3 yeses in a row. It's just, I don't know, man. I like talking. I like talking about sports. I like talking about this, and I know that I did that rant a couple weeks ago in politics and social awareness, all that stuff.
It was excellent. I just want to let the fans know. I listened to it, and you were spot on. That's how I was feeling.
I appreciate that. I appreciate you saying that. But then people are like, wait a minute, I thought you never want to talk about this stuff. Well, no, this is a real thing. It was a real incident. The Oakley-Dolan thing led shows for 2 days. Draymond Green's a current player. Like, there's a real sports connection in this instead of just out of nowhere being like, Kyle Lowry, travel ban, go. But Draymond is going, no, look, that was
Agree,
happening.
disagree.
Right, travel ban, ISIS.
What's it, the McLaughlin hour? That's what you sound like.
Valanciunas, what do you think of the tax reform?
Yay, nay, tax reform. What do you think? Next. Senator Simon.
If you're Draymond, you're like, whoa, uh-oh, wow. Like, I was kind of going in the Dre Day podcast.
Yeah.
It was a little side project of mine. And now this is every show, everywhere, and now I'm getting beat up for 24 hours. And I like Draymond, okay? I disagree with what I like him a lot, so I guess maybe there's part of me that doesn't want to beat him up too much, even though I vehemently disagree with this one. And that kind of got back to my original point, is that, all right, so you're Cuban, right?
Yes.
If I didn't like you, would you go...
No, he doesn't.
Now, if I didn't like...
Hispanic hater.
If I didn't like you, Levitard, and Sedano, then you'd be like, maybe we're onto something here with Russillo.
Wait a minute. Do you like Pedro Gomez?
I love Pedro Gomez.
Okay, then you're off the hook. He's also Cuban.
So if Dolan doesn't like Oakley, it was kind of the point that I wanted to make yesterday, is that I understand what it looks like. Maybe I don't get it. Maybe it's one of those deals, but I'd like to, this is a really weird sentence. I'd like to think we could just not like some people. And I go, I like you, but if I didn't like you, I would just be like, Max is kind of annoying. And this part is true. Right. And I appreciate his effort. A Tuesday invite to a Eurythmics concert out of nowhere.
Here comes the rain again.
Right. But no, I actually do like you. So I think he got a little, I don't want to say scared, but it's very clear that you're going, my God, because what you said, what we heard earlier in the week, was a really aggressive stance. And to say now that, like, that's not really what I was saying, well, then fine. I mean, we can argue about what it was. There was a clear correlation that you were making there, and no one really seemed to back you on it. And now you're kind of in a tight spot, all-star weekend of all weekend.
Right. Yeah, he's going to have microphones in his face left and right. And NBA players are empowered. And I like Draymond a lot, too. And I gravitate him. I want to hear what he says. I think he's a smart guy. I think what he says matters because of where he stands in the league. His clarification was for the birds. I mean, this made it, I was like, I almost preferred if he just owned it and said, that's what I said. That's how I feel. But when you see it a little further, and this, I think, gets to the deeper issue here, he goes, I don't know James Dolan. I couldn't pick him out from the lineup. And there was this immediate, just to broaden it out a bit here, it was an immediate reaction to everyone to defend Charles Oakley. And I go, I don't think people knew exactly what the James Dolan part was, so why don't we hear what he said about Oakley? And we heard that in the Michael Kay interview, to figure out the dynamic instead of just running in and we know James Dolan's an easy target. He deserves to be an easy target. But everyone goes in without knowing his side of the story. So it was just, maybe he wasn't educated on the whole situation. He came in on his podcast and said it, and now he has to be open up to it.
Think about this. Think if I was late all the time, right? Think if I was late.
Is that another shot at me?
No. It isn't. Think if I called in sick. I called in sick every time Monday rolled around, called in sick. And then you and Danny were doing the show. And Danny said, Russillo, he's not here again. And then Max goes, no, drug users are known to call in sick.
Yes, this is also.
So you're
because they party so much the night before.
You could back out. You have to add more context to this. All I'm saying is that you could back out of the comment by saying,
I didn't mean
like, I could
Ryan.
get mad and be like, I can't believe you said that, Max. Like, that's really messed up. That's really irresponsible. That's not even close to being the truth. And you'd be like, well, I didn't say that you use drugs. I just said that, hey, Russillo calls out sick, and I know that drug users
call in sick.
They're known to be late around the office, but I didn't say you did. Well, yeah, you did.
Yeah, you did. Yes, I did.
Russillo and Kanell.
Do you want to see Durant and Westbrook play together this weekend for the West? Right?
Yes.
Isn't that American? Isn't that the whole point of all this stuff?
That's look, I don't watch All-Star games of any sport. I hate All-Star games. They're the biggest bore.
What about La Liga?
There's no. I like MLS All-Star. There's no La Liga All-Star game. In Europe, they look down upon All-Star games. What is this? What is this All-Stars? They don't have them. They have like testimonials where they have the guys who are retiring pick the players that they used to play with or played with. They're old. and they come together.
So like Damon Jones would start picking dudes?
Yeah. He goes, I want Maradona, I want Zidane, and they'll play and they'll kick around. And they're in their 40s or 50s, but there's no like guys.
Are they still fit?
No, not really.
No.
They get lazy there.
I hate when they're not as fit.
But that's why I'll be tuning in. I like the All-Star weekend. I like what happens on Saturday. The actual game, I don't really care for. But some of the dynamics that come from time to time, a guy that you may want to see go off. But more than ever, because of that dynamic between these two guys, I want to see that.
I'm with you. I want to see this. I do not want this to be, there's been this thing now in sports where the fake humbles the appreciated thing. When Klay Thompson has 67 points, they don't play in the fourth quarter, and then I'm the one guy going, get back in. And I'm not the only one, but I think
do it for us.
I'm met.
You pay your salary.
Why? What's the point? I'm like, the point's that get out there. Let's go for 80, man. Like,
you should have a segment, Peanut Gallery guy, just yelling at NBA guys doing that. Hey, get out there! You've only played 25 minutes.
So I've heard in some circles, maybe you don't want to do that to Durant, maybe you don't want to do that to West. No, do that to them. Play these guys together. Here's the thing: Durant just sat down with Sage Steele. We could see it here in the monitors. They're all down in New Orleans. This happened moments ago. So here is Durant, the latest you're going to hear on all this about whether or not he's going to talk with Russ this weekend.
So are you going to go up and talk to him? Because you've said that maybe I could have done things a little bit differently. I mean, because then it's over with, right? Because he keeps saying that you guys haven't talked.
I don't know. I mean,
you haven't decided yet?
It's not even something I'm thinking about, to be honest.
Okay.
If it happens, I'm not planning anything. If it happens organically, it does, but I'm not planning to do anything. Like I said, I'm just coming out here enjoying my weekend. Looking forward to being a part of the festivities as an all-star and all, everything else that falls in line after that, it does. But if it happens, it does. If it doesn't, it's no big deal
so
either.
Organic, you're not going to plan something?
No, not at all.
Okay.
No hug?
No hug.
How great would that be? They just come like, let's bygones be bygones. You do your thing, I do my thing. And I'm going to get you that MVP, Westbrook. I'm going to get you some good looks.
You're a really emotional guy, Max. I appreciate that about you.
I think they need it'd be a good part of the healing process because when you're people and you leave stuff unsaid, that's not healthy. That builds you up. I think this is a great place where they're together on the same team, on the same bench, sharing the same space, where they can get over the silliness of this broken relationship. I don't understand it. It's over. He's got Durant's in Golden State. You're in Oklahoma City. Unless you just truly dislike each other, just nip it.
Here's Steve Kerr with Ramona Shelburne. This is up on ESPN.com, and she's asking, how are you going to handle this? Because I still think some people think that you shouldn't play them together. I don't. This game means nothing. I can't even watch this game. It bums me out so much. So, Kerr, it was almost, I don't want to say annoyed with Ramona, but it was almost like, wait a minute, I'm supposed to fix this thing?
All right, so if you got this all figured out, you're going to sing a song. Do you have a video plan? Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant, back on the same team, and you're coaching them.
Yep. So it's all up to me to broker this truce, and it's going to happen. It's going to be beautiful, and we're going to get it done.
How do you think it's really going to go?
I have no idea. I mean, this is kind of one of the weird things about the All-Star game is, you get guys who are competing head-to-head all year long at the highest level in sports, and then all of a sudden they're teammates. And then obviously sometimes you get these personal connections like we have with Russ and KD. And I think it's actually probably the healthiest thing that can happen is they just, they're in the same locker room and maybe they have a few words and we can put this stuff behind us.
If there's one thing we've learned from any of the buildup to all this is that it is real. It's becoming, because when it gets too hyped up, we talk about too much, it's like, oh, this is just a media creation. No, it isn't.
It's real.
Westbrook is mad at Durant, okay? And if it's because Durant didn't give him the heads up, that part I can kind of understand. Even if they weren't best friends. I don't know that we really know. Were they best friends? Did they hate each other? I think it's somewhere in the between. There had to have been some respect. They sat out there, they did all those playoff post-game pressers together. They had each other's back all the time. Remember when they talked about Westbrook and the defense and Curry, and then the Cuban, you're not a superstar, and like Durant's like, I'll take this one. Like, you have to like that dude if you're going to put all that time into it and be around him. So maybe they're not getting a summer house together. That's fine. But they were good enough with each other professionally that I think Durant owed him that call. But these guys are so just incensed about keeping the message private that they're probably afraid, like, oh, if I give it to Westbrook, he's going to go ahead and tweet it out. It's very clear, too, that Westbrook and some of the guys on the Thunder thought that Durant was kind of the soft guy, all right? Of the two, the guy that you'd want in the alley would be Westbrook. And then Durant, with all of his talent and all this stuff, like, is he as tough as I am? And that's the cupcake joke, right? Kendrick Perkins, when they're all teammates, called opponents they thought were soft cupcakes. So then Durant makes the decision. Then on Instagram, Westbrook posts the thing about cupcakes, and then becomes a bunch of middle-aged guy who doing pretty well with good seats, wearing cupcake T-shirts in OKC on a Saturday night. But it's obvious that it's like, you know what, you were kind of like you were kind of soft, and now you're the man, and now you're leaving us behind, so, bleep you, and this is how we feel about you. So all of this stuff is very real because Kerr is like, Durant's like, I don't know what's going to happen. Curry wants nothing to do with it.
Is it on any of you guys to sort of broker a conversation between them, or is that between Kevin and Russ?
No, we're all big boys, so I leave it to them and their history and their friendship to whatever they want to do. But at the end of the day, like I said, in that locker room, we all know how to handle ourselves and just enjoy while we're here.
We're all big boys.
So, Rudy, what do you think about this? Because you and I disagree a little bit about what Kerr's role is here. Because I'm saying play him, like, give me a break. Play the guys. They're Western All-Stars. You don't have to stagger them.
I think you have to ask. Kerr has to ask Westbrook about it.
Really?
Yeah. He doesn't know. Like, he doesn't. I don't know. You just need to be upfront with him about it. I think the Durant thing, Durant would play with him. I don't think it's a big deal for Durant. I think it's a bigger deal for Westbrook, and it's a bigger deal for Kerr to be like, hey, is this cool? Other than to just completely blindside him and be like, hey, here's 4 Warriors and Durant. Go out there and play with him.
Yeah, I'm with you, Steve. I think it's a courtesy just to go to Westbrook. Hey, I'm being asked about this. Ramona Shelburne's talking to me about this and that. Are you all right? Look, we're going to get you in there. You're going to spend some time with.
Ramona asked Russ. I just wanted to clear
Shelburne is on the run, but I think even a courtesy to say, look, I'm going to play you if there's something that is really egregious and you don't want to, let me know. But I can't imagine it comes to that. There's so many guys who played in All-Star games that don't like each other. I mean, Michael Jordan.
Not like this, though.
Not like this.
Is pretty specific.
Yes, but just to share a court for a little bit.
That's my
maybe
point.
I'm naive.
Right. You guys, oh, no. I don't expect anything that's really going to happen, but I do want to see it. That is. There's nothing better than that when you say, okay, here's the product, and we have all this drama surrounding it that, again, is real. It's not created. No one's just making this stuff up.
Well, the one thing that people were saying is playing the 4 Golden State guys and Westbrook. That seems poorly motivated. That seems.
Do you want to see it?
No, not really. I want to see.
You don't want to see that? That's hilarious.
It is. I'd like to see it, but Durant Westbrook is number 1. Number 2 is the Golden State Warrior 4 and Gordon Hayward. I'm just kidding. But oh no, I want to see that too. But yeah, that is secondary. Right now, it's just, I don't care who's on the court as long as those two are just engaged for a couple minutes, and that is the moment.
I would love to see Russ in the 4 Warriors to see if he doesn't pass for 4 straight minutes.
Now, but if Kerr does come and you see the 4 and Westbrook, you have to say Westbrook would have never signed up for this. No?
So you think that would be just downright?
That's weird.
Mean.
Because I think you're clearly, like, you don't have to do that. If you do that, you're clearly trolling him, right?
Yeah, I think so. What are the chances all 4 Warriors play together? That's just a weird thing. We see the Warriors play together all the time.
I don't know if that'll happen. Kerr's not that kind of guy. He's not the kind of do it. I would love to see it. But at the very least, like, if Durant and Westbrook don't play together at some point on the floor, then this whole weekend's a loss.
What about Harden, Westbrook, and Durant? See, that's a nice little subplot.
Trade for Ibaka?
What could have been?
Get Perk out there. Hey, Perk, you still fitness?
I'm Andy Katz from ESPN, along with my co-host Rick Klein of ABC News. On the latest edition of Capital Games, we're going to be joined by North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper to discuss HB2. We're also going to dissect the new Nike ad called Equality.
Happy to have Max Bretos here, especially on a Friday. Puts everybody in a good mood. Want to remind everybody that the All-Star festivities start tonight. Check out the NBA Rising Stars Challenge at 9 Eastern on most ESPN radio stations. So that'll be on ESPN Radio, presented by Progressive Insurance. All guests on the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line. Charles Barkley doesn't like today's game. No way. I can't believe that.
There's a lot of holes in it.
We'll get to that a little bit later. And we're going to talk to someone from the world of MMA because Max is here and he's very plugged into all that stuff.
Big fight tomorrow night. Bellator.
Well done.
Matt Mitrione. Meathead.
I was going to tease it.
Was that I jumped the gun?
Yeah, we just gave it away, but that's all right.
Sorry. I'm still learning.
Are they getting Rumble Johnson? No.
Rumble Johnson?
Are they? I'm a big Rumble Johnson fan. I'm looking forward to the rematch.
We need some good fights coming up. I mean, it's been a little bit
You're worried
dry.
about the UFC right now.
I'm a little worried about the UFC. I want to see some big fights. They're going to come, I'm sure, but
okay,
in time.
All right. Just trying to rein it all back in because the headliner of all this stuff is Durant Westbrook. What are these two guys going to do? All right, Durant was just with Sage Steele, and she asked him about how they're going to just navigate through this weekend of being teammates for the West.
So are you going to go up and talk to him? Because you've said that maybe I could have done things a little bit differently. I mean, because then it's over with, right? Because he keeps saying that you guys haven't talked.
I don't know. I mean,
you haven't decided yet?
It's not even something I'm thinking about, to be honest.
Okay.
If it happens, I'm not planning anything. If it happens organically, it does, but I'm not planning to do anything. You know, like I said, I'm just coming out here enjoying my weekend. Looking forward to being a part of the festivities as an all-star and all, everything else that falls in line after that, it does. But if it happens, it does. If it doesn't, it's no big deal
So
either.
organic, you're not going to plan something?
No, not at all.
Okay.
I like that word, organic. Oh, there he is. Hey, Russ, good to see you. Get open. I'm going to pass it to you. Organically. It's going to come very natural.
Can we just do a quick timeout? When you do the show with Max, are the rest of you guys with me on that? We're not quite sure where any, and I don't want to rein you in.
Is that a 20-second timeout?
Yeah. We'll get a quick 20 here. Because what did he do when Woodson was in here when he started doing the Jets?
Oh, yeah. West Side Story between the NFL wide receivers and the defensive backs.
Yeah, Ryan, your guess is as good as mine.
No, I just told you. What, you guys haven't seen West Side Story where they're clicking their fingers?
Yes.
All right.
The Jets and who was
The
it?
Sharks.
The Sharks, that's right.
There's going to be a fight. Chris Carter, I'm looking at you. I'm coming for you. I don't know why I sound like Dane Joan Edna singing. But you said,
Cerruti?
Do I cheer people up on when I come on the show? Because he said that, but it was like really, it didn't seem like we were having a party atmosphere. Cerruti's looked at his computer screen entirely since I walked in. Hasn't
had
spoken
a lot
to me.
To do. We did a pod before the show. Sound.
My bad.
Typically when Bretos is in, though, it's wild.
Should we buy ice cream? Do you guys want my credit card next break? You guys go buy
tacos?
Yeah, buy everybody some ice cream.
I love Choco Tacos. They're my favorite.
All right.
I like to have a roast beef sandwich, and then I'll wash it down with a Choco Taco and 3 fingers of whiskey. I'm just trying to bring it up. It's Friday.
Are you down? So I'm down. I'm a downer for you right now because I'm trying to do like the Westbrook stuff.
No, you just pulled a 20-second timeout.
Okay, all
I'm
right.
defending myself.
No, I don't think you. I'm not even.
I'm wearing an
attacking.
oversized Harlem Globetrotters jersey for Geese Osby for crying out loud.
I love what you bring.
Okay,
every
good,
day.
good.
I've noticed eye contact with staff members where they go, I don't know what he's doing either. Okay,
good or bad?
It's not bad. Let's start there. It's not bad. It's just I don't know.
I know that is. I'm just trying to fine tune. I'm trying to fine tune my delivery when I'm on here. I want to make sure I'm not wasting the viewers' time.
No, you're good at. But I'm just when you fill in with Kanell, do you drive?
I did. I can't drive 55, but I did drive with. Yeah, that was. You were missed a little bit. I think there were some moments where I'm like, oh boy.
Because Kanell started to do this thing where he's feeling himself a little bit more, and I got mad last week, right? Yeah, I think it was last week, where he just blatantly was like, yeah, whatever you're doing in your plan, I don't care. I just want to do this thing now. And he didn't tell me.
It was Goat of the Week.
That's right. It was Goat of the Week where he named himself Goat of the Week. And the reason why I didn't want to do it was, one, because he just decided, I've been here a year and a half. Now I'm going to just start interjecting and screwing up whatever plan you have, which I'm okay. Like, I get that I'm a little more structured. But then
that's very important here. I'm much better in the Danny chair. Because things can go off the rails when I was in your chair, which they did.
My point with Danny wasn't like I don't want you to do your own thing and feel comfortable. You didn't do anything. Then he just named himself Goat of the Week,
and then laughed for 4 minutes.
Then laughed for 4. That was the segment.
Yeah,
that Danny was mad.
Doesn't sound like good radio.
It wasn't. I'm not sure this is either. Russillo and Kanell on ESPN Radio. So, all right, so. Here's Westbrook,
right.
Okay? Westbrook just moments ago asked about what he's going to say to Durant, and his eyes are more on Zoolander type stuff.
Is it going to be awkward at all just being on the same team as all the Warriors? I mean, I know you had a great series with them last year. And...
Yeah, I mean, what's your favorite fashion brand? What you like?
My favorite, I think I like YSL.
YSL,
Yeah.
Saint Laurent. Honestly, Saint Laurent has a great collection. The spring-summer collection. Oh, you like DVF? You like Down Basketball? Okay, that's nice. There's a lot of great things I think you can pick from. I think it all depends on what you like.
Okay.
On a side note, I love the fact, and I'm going to go off the rails here, I love the fact that he's into fashion. And if I was a big fashion designer, if I was Dolce & Gabbana, I would make him my guy, fashion shows, and give him everything because I think people gravitate towards him. So from a fashion sense, he's educated about it. I like it. But from a sense of what's going to happen in the All-Star game, I think taking the high road is probably the right route here.
Hey, Russ, we want to ask you another question about Durant.
You and AD are close, training together in the offseason. So what are your thoughts when you see those kind of rumors that you and him going to LA, that kind of stuff?
You like fashion?
I like fashion.
Yeah. What you wearing? What is that?
Boss.
I like Hugo Boss. Hugo Boss is great, man. Like, you should try Hugo Boss. Armani got good suits. Zegna has great brands of suits. Looks good, brother.
Yeah.
Like beat writer's going to get a $3,000 Zegna suit. Okay, Russ, I'm on it.
Right, I saved up for this Hugo Boss. This isn't one of those J.A. Bank deals.
Yeah. Joseph A. Bank, they have an Armani collection in the back.
So this is what he's going to do here.
Yeah.
This is what he's going to do.
All right.
Charles Barkley, I don't even know how far we're going to get through the Barkley stuff. He uses this analogy to trash the product today that is a bit unfair.
Russillo and Kanell.
Charles Barkley, who, whenever he says it finds a way to always be something like, man, did you hear what Charles said this time? And when he called out LeBron, that backfired, and more people went at Charles than they did LeBron and understood where LeBron was coming from. And LeBron really made it personal when he went back. It took a few days, Barkley kind of joked. He's like, he was on Google, huh? Just letting me have it. When Barkley had questioned whether or not LeBron wanted to compete, had that competitive edge when he was complaining about the roster, right? So we don't need to rehash all that. But he says this about today's NBA product.
We got an awful product, and I think we got to be careful. We got 2 or 3 good teams. The rest of them are awful, and there's a combination of a couple of things. All these stars are teaming up and want to play together. And also, we bringing kids into the NBA when they're way too young. They don't have any idea how to play. I mean, our product is not good.
Is there a chance he's right? Or is this only a, yes, he's right because I'm older and I side with Barkley, versus the younger group that go, oh, here we go with Barkley again, just dissing whatever is not future, the present day NBA?
I think the one and done thing, I think we need to look a little closer because there are some guys here that are just filling up space, not ready for the NBA. I'd love to see them come a little more ready. With regards to the quality, he struck the nerve that we only have 2 good teams, suggesting we will have another NBA Finals between the Warriors and the Cavs. And when the NBA Finals come, it's going to be spectacular. And now the regular season's been diminished a fair bit. But as I host SportsCenter, I get excited for, and maybe it's the millennial culture here where you almost don't pay much attention to the teams, the results, but at the performances. Every night we look at the players that are going to play and go, okay, Isaiah Thomas is playing, James Harden's playing, Russell Westbrook, and you get excited about what these guys are capable of. Is it good team basketball? No. Is it appealing? Absolutely. And I will tune in all regular season long to see that because of what these guys are doing. Would I like to see more competitive teams at the top? Without a doubt. And I hope we can get closer to that, and I think we will. I just think with the cyclical situation with Durant, Durant just changed everything because you took 3 competitive or 4 competitive teams and now made it down to 2. But I'm all right with it.
He also said something about, like, what do you do right now if you're a Brooklyn fan or you're a Magic fan? Okay, that's not fair. That's like a kid asking, hey, should I go to college? And go, no, my neighbor didn't like it.
There's been bad teams for
no, but you understand my point?
Yeah, absolutely.
But you can't do this thing where you go, well, look at the Magic, look at the Nets. Yes, they're like, what are you telling me? Vancouver Grizzlies were killing it? Like we always have bottom feeder teams. We have bottom feeder teams in every single sport. So that's not an argument for anyone saying the product is bad now. There's just something with the NBA guys. They can never let it go. It is never good enough. Every one of them gets 60 a game now. Basketball apparently is the only sport that has ever regressed athletically. Like wherever everybody's running faster, stronger, and all these different things, somehow the ability to play hoops, we've gotten worse in the last 20, 25 years. I understand the concern about Golden State and Cleveland, but can't you have a window where maybe there's like a college basketball season in the NBA where it feels like there's 8 to 10 wins that could win a title, and that wouldn't be surprising. The NBA doesn't really work that way, but maybe you'd have 5 or 6. Okay, but the NBA it's not just based on the way the important players impact these games. The NBA is never going to be set up in a situation where you're 10 deep. You're just not going to be 10 deep with 10 different teams that look like they can win a title. So this can feel more exclusive right now with Cleveland and Golden State, but that's kind of the way this game is. So then to get really worked up, I want to see Cleveland and Golden State Part 3.
Absolutely.
Okay, so yes, there are a lot of other fan bases that are worried about it. And by the way, saying the league needs to do something about these super teams and Durant and all that, they have. It's called the new CBA. If you start going through the fine details of what they're doing there, they are saying if you're one of these premier players, we are going to make it so favorable for you to re-sign with your current team that you're not even going to want to think about leaving. And I think that money, it's so weighted now, the way they used to do it, even more so now, though, where they didn't have movement in the past. And then you're like, the money maybe isn't that much of a difference. I'm making so much more money in sneaker money, so maybe I'll start bouncing. Well, they're going to heavily weight these contracts again and all these other little things, all these other little rules in there. So the NBA is trying to prevent that from happening. So you can get freaked out about it right now. This is not the norm, and I'm not that worried about 2017.
What was your favorite era in NBA? What was the most memorable? When was the time when you were happiest watching NBA?
I just love Barkley. I mean, ironic, Barkley's my favorite NBA player ever. He's my favorite athlete.
His era.
Everybody knows that.
What was going on in his era? It was Celtics-Lakers, the top two teams.
They played each other less in the finals than people remember, but it was that was it. It was weird when the Rockets got in 86,
made it with Ralph Sampson. You're like, what happened?
Right.
This is not supposed to be that way. That's how we'll feel if someone other than the Warriors and Cavs. Now, stylistically, and if it doesn't have the same style and they're not calling it the same way, the officials, I can buy into that. I don't know the machinations to that. I don't know what I'm supposed to be looking at. I don't have that trained eye. But the product as it is, I enjoy. But to argue the creme de la creme, it's not exact, but I think to have those dominant teams is good.
The Spurs won 67 games last year, and because they didn't get past Oklahoma City, we act like
but they're not. Do you feel like they're going to compete this year? I don't know. I don't see.
They're still really good, okay? But what do we have here? We have this 2-year thing of the NBA Finals, this being the same matchup. So now we're worried we're going to get it a third time, okay? We're worried, there's not enough here. Look, man, there's plenty of NFL games. I'm like, cool, it's parity, it's touchdown, it's Tennessee against Jacksonville. Like, I don't care. Sweet 4:00 window. What do we got? Jacksonville at Oakland? Like 2 years ago. Oakland's good now, but
yeah, Jacksonville doesn't go 4:00 windows.
You don't understand what I'm saying here.
I don't like. Look, the parity's an issue with the NFL. I like the dominance of teams.
Right. So when we don't have dominant teams, we say we miss the dominant teams, and then when we don't have, we have the dominant teams. It's like, where's all that parity? Just fix everything, right?
Yeah, just
the Hall of
blow
Fame
it up.
voting. T.O. so upset about the Hall of It. We need that to be more transparent now. I don't know. Receivers have to wait. I don't know why it is. You're a Hall of Famer. You'll get in. We don't have to have a congressional hearing about it. And you were a jerk to your teammates, so now you're getting kicked around a little bit for a couple. Like all of these things that we're worrying about, there's a lot that we don't need to worry about. And right now, Golden State and Cleveland maybe meeting a third time does not mean the NBA product is garbage and it needs to be completely overhauled.
No. Do you see any team preventing a third straight? I mean, because it seems more crystal clear now than it did last year, even though we had the Thunder and you had the Spurs potentially complicating things.
Golden State, no. Cleveland's defense is terrible. For them,
I just figured LeBron will know when to flip that switch, and we just know that's going to happen.
I won't be picking against them, but Washington I'm taking a little bit more seriously. Toronto through this weird start. They had this weird stretch. They missed DeRozan 7 or 8 games.
This is a discussion for another time, but there's no good benches. I like some of these teams in the East, like Washington, but they don't have a bench. Celtics are kind of good. But no, benches are a dying breed. You don't really have them. Only the bad teams have good benches. You know what would really spice up the NBA? Promotion relegation.
Okay, but
you better pick it at the bottom, or you're going to go down.
So you tank, and then it's like, by the way, now you can't even take the draft pick because you're not in our league.
No, you're in the D League.
You're in the G League. Remember?
I'm Jamel Hill, and on the latest OG podcast, Michael Smith and I will discuss coaching against each other in the NBA All-Star Celebrity Game, or how my team is going to whoop his. Check it out.
He just debuted the new Max and Herc Soccer podcast. He's a pioneer in the jersey under the blazer look in the fashion community and was recently voted most Euro at ESPN. But do you really know the Cuban Hammer himself? It's time for a Max Bretos pop quiz.
On to the hills, run for your life. That felt good.
This is where people listening go, who's really good is Max. And then towards the end of the show, they go, everyday Max, though? I don't know.
I can't argue that.
I'm worried. I'm worried about that. Do we know that Cuba is not in Europe?
But I pulled the Euro look.
You did. You did move to Italy to model. So
Cuba, you wear guayaberas, which is like a tropical shirt with short sleeves.
Pop quiz, you know how this works. Question 1, least favorite SportsCenter anchor to work with is?
The only one I work with is Coachman, so he's my favorite and my least favorite. That's it. He's the only one I work with.
Okay. Which fan base are you most aligned with? Which one are you most accused of being a fan of? It's kind of two different things.
City-wise?
Yeah, just, hey, I can't believe it. Typical Man U supporter.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Florida State football.
State? You went there.
Yeah, I went there, and that's where I'm most passionate about. Once in a while, a little Miami Dolphin chat will come up, but that doesn't really hold.
More than Bundesliga?
West Ham United is my soccer team, so we'll get into a fist fight for them. And I know after this show, if I'm going to have a fist fight, I'm bringing Jesse Palmer with me.
Yeah, how about that? I don't know if I know I don't want to believe that Palmer has really quick hands and that Matt Mitrione said he basically Mitrione.
Mitrione.
I got it messed up. All right. Give me it'd be kind of weird if you say now currently because you're married, but maybe you would say before. Give me just the starlet that, I remember when I bought an Emma Stone magazine to read the interview, I was like, yeah, I guess I do kind of have a thing for her. So give me that for you. Give me the one where you're like, that's kind of, if everything
right, the stars aligned,
right, for your boy. Just give me of 2 vodka sodas in just 5 minutes of your time.
Yeah. Maybe Jessica Alba. This is going to age me, but remember Lita Ford, the rocker? Cougar Watch.
How old is she now?
She's got to be
60. I'm gonna go because all performers are always older than you think because this thing is so hard. And I wouldn't put us in there. Lita Ford. I haven't thought about her.
I always get this question, and I'm like, wow, she's a stunner, and I'm like, wow, I'd love to just chat.
Okay, all right. Moving forward.
Good spot to move forward.
Which booze can you no longer drink anymore in your mid-40s?
Gin. Makes you violent.
Cousin of gasoline.
I wasn't a big gin drinker, but I drank a little. I was done.
The hipsters love it.
Can I have a gin gimlet, please?
Right. Well, because you're only gonna have one.
My hipster voice.
Kyle.
Yeah.
That's why you can have one.
Scotch and tequila.
Right.
Those are the good ones.
Why is America not more ready for rugby?
Because we stink as a nation playing. Consistently stink. We always lose to the powers like South Africa and New Zealand by 80 points. We have not closed the gap. The minute they can close the gap, plus when television shows it more regularly, that'll help. But we don't because rugby's the one sport. I'm sorry, you hit a nerve here. Rugby's the one sport they still make the fans pay per view to see. And we have to go to a bar at 8 a.m. to watch a test match. Stop it.
I watched who's my man? Spike Davis on the Eagles. I watched who did we beat? Was it Brazil?
Oh, in the sevens?
Yeah.
You mean with
was it sevens?
I
don't think it was sevens.
7 aside.
I don't know. I was watching some U.S. rugby the other day. I think it's great. I love it. But
we need better athletes to play in it, but there's no money.
I think Spike Davis is the guy I'm thinking of. He was mauling people. Job well done by Max, the pop quiz. Job well done, Russillo and Kanell, brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. For quality parts and know-how, Napa Auto Parts can help you keep your ride running longer, stronger. That's Napa know-how. I got an age here on Lita Ford.
Bring it.
She was and still is. Just
fantastic.
Yeah, just, we'll leave it at that. We're creeping up on 60.
Whoa. So then I'm still in on the discussion.
You're in that window.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jessica Alba and Lita Ford.
Things don't work
the
out
show.
here. Have you heard my new soccer podcast? I enjoyed you sitting in with Ozzy. The whole Ozfest line.
Previously on Russillo and Kanell.
I think I've seen some posts where you train with our friend Jesse Palmer here, but is it true that Palmer beat you up in a sparring session?
It is. Unfortunately, it is incredibly true. That dude's hands aren't just good for throwing footballs and hitting golf clubs. That dude can throw punches as well, my guy.
Really?
No.
He's a legend. That dude is so quick and he's athletic too.
Seriously?
I was going to pick a fight with Jesse, so I got to.
This is.
You see the fancy colors that he wears and the really nice hair, and you think, oh, he's going to be soft. He is the opposite, buddy.
He can't be pulling our chain.
No, because he's either all in on it, but he got specific, and I think that's what you've been pointing out here.
Yeah.
So that'd be a really good. If this was Levitard's show, do you want Jesse Palmer to also be tough in fights? The response from the male demographic is going to be 95% no.
You want to push him over,
right? No, we want. Congrats on your success, but and you're going to beat up random dudes? Oh, man.
My time in L.A., what I discovered, good-looking guys who have a good life they generally get after it, and they'll probably kick your tail.
In L.A., you notice that?
Yeah,
What's that
these
theory?
Actors that you see, look at this guy, this guy on TV, I will take him out. And in reality, when they're not filming or stuff, they're in some dojo, getting their rolling around.
What's the dojo scene like in L.A.?
It's pretty significant. When I lived in Marina, there was one right down, I don't know what they were teaching, and then further down there was heavyweight guy at UFC. His name escapes me. I think he's
Roy Nelson?
No, but he had a little gym, and then there's another gym. But these gyms are very profitable because you charge these people a lot of money.
Right. So I could get in. If I move to L.A., it's not too late for me to get in on the dojo scene.
No.
I'm actually being
I would
totally
do it.
serious.
I mean, because you want to
start a dojo?
Fabricio Verdum, he had one. It was like a little gym, and then there's gym, Thai massage,
what?
henna tattoo parlor. I'm just saying, down the street.
Oh,
so.
Got it.
Yeah, I'd like to do it out here. Maybe if
let's
you're
start a
interested,
dojo.
We'll get someone who knows what they're doing, and we'll get in there.
What style of fighting do you think we should teach?
I like to do jiu-jitsu because that fights always end up on the ground. That's where jiu-jitsu is going to sort you out.
Perfect. Done. Right. Let's write up a business plan. Whoever's listening, commercial loan market, let us know what the rate is. Okay, little music for Bretos on the way out. We do this every time he's here. I've never seen anyone. I think this is a sellable ability here. Whatever you're doing, this is marketable.
I will come in just for the segment if we can do it, if you can sell it. I don't have to do the whole 3 hours and give you my takes on the NBA. Come here and dress like
Did you get
charlatan.
tired? Did you get tired hour 3 today?
No.
Did you have a sugar rush and then crash a bit the last segment?
No, there was sometimes where I'd like to get a question in and I couldn't. And,
you were making me look so bad on
okay.
that one. You know what? But we're not going to tell the truth. No. That's
come
fine.
clean with it.
No. Well, people can think that I actually wouldn't let you ask a question. It's definitely not what happened. Cerruti, are you ready for this? Do we have some music?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right, I like that.
Is that perfect?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, so we do this with Max. We ask him to do impersonations, rapid fire. He doesn't even know what they are, and he's great at half of them. The other ones he still tries.
I try to
which
fill
makes
them
it
with
funny.
content. I don't
so
have them.
let's go easy one. Let me hear Sean Connery ordering at Taco Bell.
Let me get this straight. You have a taco, and instead of the shell, you're using a fried chicken. Are you insane? I'll take 4 of those. Yes, and a large Mr. Pibb. Yes. And could you put extra cutlery in there? Thank you. It's for when I have a packed lunch, I want to go out, and I don't want to buy it at the store at Costco. If you'd be so kind. Large, no ice.
Okay, give me Frank Sinatra. Do you have one?
Oh, give it a shot.
No, all right. Give me who's the one that Adnan loves? The actor, Robert. What the hell?
Robert De Niro?
No, not De Niro. I know he loves De Niro.
Scorsese.
No, not Scorsese.
Not an actor.
Not Robert either. Like whiff, and whiff.
Robert Patrick?
You struck out on one pitch on that, Charlie.
Is it? It's an actor.
He's not,
Charlie went Scorsese.
No. Who's the old I'm screwing up.
Robert Redford?
No,
Rob Reiner?
No. Who's one of your go-to impersonations that Adnan loves the most?
Richard Burton?
Richard Burton. Give me Richard Burton typing up his Tinder profile.
I've done much harder here than this Tinder profile. I did Shakespeare. I did Hamlet at the Orpheum Theater. 6 straight days, and I do a Tinder profile. Well, yes, I like pizza. I like bikini bottoms. And I like girls with a loose temperament. Put that, print it. Get back to me. Don't tell Liz at all costs. Don't tell her! I'll have you back in London, shoveling bags quicker than you can say Peter O'Toole.
All right.
That's no more dated references.
No, that was good. I like pizza and bikini bottoms.
Bikini bottoms.
Do you have a Robert Loggia?
Yeah.
From Scarface?
Hold on.
Van Pelt's Robert Loggia is really good because he would just scream, Robert Loggia! And it was amazing for whatever reason. I mean, Van Pelt's terrific with these.
Come on, Tony. The Diaz brothers. They're pushing here hard. I can't keep backing up. Miami's changing for you. Come on, Tony. Let me tell you this. Yes, but the Colombians aren't going to stop. They know where Frank Lopez lives.
Very good.
All right, good.
Very good. Very good. Give me
Frank Lopez, man. I'm in charge of Miami Beach.
Give me Heavy D from Heavy D and the Boys.
Hold on. I gotta get some inspiration here.
Do you remember? Remember what he sounded like?
Yeah.
Little raspy. Yeah.
What was the big song of his? Do me right. Is that it?
Yeah. Are you going to try?
Do me right.
That sounds English.
Do me right. That was a tough one.
That was
I feel like such an organ grinder's monkey right now.
All right, give me Russell Crowe breaking up a fight.
Guys, it's not worth it. Just stay here, some of your sides. If you want a real fight, I'll take my shirt off here and I'll take you both down. I'm as tough as I look in the movies. Have you seen Master and Commander? I'll knock your teeth out of your mouth. Have you seen Les Miserables? I played Inspector Javert. I was unrelenting until I got Jean. What is the name? I butchered that. I'm Australian and I'm New Zealand.
Figure it out, right?
Figure it out.
Yeah.
Both of them will come out and kick your butt.
Give me some Connery on the way out. Connery's weekend plans.
Well, first of all, I'll hit the Turkish bath Friday, 4 o'clock to 10 o'clock. I'll invite Pierce Brosnan. He's available. And then we'll have some heavy petting. And then we'll go to Taco Bell again, because those tacos with the chicken on the outside are delightful. And I'm not going to form and order 10 of them.
The NBA All-Star Game this Sunday.
Here's Curry behind the back. Half-court heave on its way. And he hits it!
Coverage begins Sunday at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.